A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another graphic novel review today, so cheers. Glass of neat whiskey on a Friday night, always good. Now, the graphic novel I'm going to review today, it's an interesting one because I've chosen to review this to kind of twin it with Plaguelands Media's next movie review. I'm not going to tell you what the movie is. You can probably guess it after I show you the book. But today, I am reviewing Star Wars Ewoks. This is written by Steve Orlando, and artists are Alvaro Lopez and Laura Braga. Now, a lot of people used to complain about the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. I thought they were freaking cool. I loved them. What I didn't think was cool, however, was there was one kid that I knew who had the Star Wars Ewok Village playset. That kid was a little snot boy. Great art on the back as well, as you can see. Now, I don't know why I picked this up. I certainly love the Star Wars franchise, and this book is canon, by the way. But I guess it was because I've been reading so much superhero graphic novels lately, interspersed with some indie stuff. And I just felt like something that seemed fun, seemed easy, and I wasn't disappointed. What I love about this is the amount of Ewok cameos. If you're a fan of the franchise, if you're a fan of the toys, you would know a lot of these Ewoks. I mean, of course, there's Wicket. That's a given. We got Chief Chirper. We have Logray. We have Nisa, who was one of the Ewoks from the animated series back in the day. Chief Chirper's daughter, of course. This is set just after the rebels have left the forest moon of Endor, following the climax of Return of the Jedi. We are, however, told that Leia and Han had their wedding on Endor with the Ewoks, which I thought was a cool little touch. And this is basically a story of Imperials coming to Endor to try and find a cache of weapons. That's the whole story. We get some familiar characters like Zuckuss, and we get a whole host of new characters. It was just a lot of fun. It's 4 issues in a mini-series. I enjoyed it. If you want to go and pick this up for yourself, I highly recommend it. It is fun. It has some great art in it. I really like the art. There's some Ewoks there. It's kind of cool. If you want to know exactly what happens in the book, I'm going to be spoiling it, but I just want to address something first. Yes, the Ewoks were stupid little bears put in there for the kids. You know, fair enough. But I mean, look at these films. The original Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, it tells a pretty good story, But the Forest Moon of Endor, when Luke and Leia and Han and the other guys went there to shut off the shield generator, was just a spectacle for the eyes. So, yeah, hate on the Ewoks all you want, but give us a reason. Like, give us a valid reason in the comments down below why you hated the Ewoks. I just thought they were fun. Mind you, when Return of the Jedi came out, I was a kid. So yes, it was pushing my button straight away. Like, I'm the target audience for the Ewoks. But just think about the Forest Moon of Endor scenes where you had the AT-ST walkers. You had the speeder bikes. My brother and I each had the speeder bike toy with the Scout Stormtrooper figure. And there was a button on the back, and as you're playing, you're flying it around, and you hit that button, and the thing exploded. And then you just put it back together and just kept going. It's memories like that that keep me coming back to the Star Wars franchise. And yes, it's diluted now. I do understand that. I'm not condoning some of the choices that have been made with our beloved franchise. All I'm saying is sometimes it's fun just to kick back, read a Star Wars graphic novel, read a Star Wars novel, watch the prequel trilogy, watch the original trilogy, and you know what? Watch the sequel trilogy too. Watch some of the TV shows. Just whatever part of the franchise you love, embrace it. If you don't like a part of the franchise, ignore it. That's simple. But you know what? I've been ranting too long. I've got a half a pepperoni pizza stuck in my tummy, and I'm drinking whiskey. So let's go straight to the spoiler-filled Ewoks review in the next episode of
Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. People.
So this is Star Wars Ewoks. Gorgeous cover. I'm assuming that's Wicket with his foot on a Stormtrooper helmet. Just love it. And we have some other Star Wars graphic novels, which is all cool. And then we get a little blurb about the Enchanted Forest on the distant moon of Endor. Evil group of outsiders set up their strange machines, bringing war and blah, blah, blah. And then we have the Ewok village, and everything's translated from Ewokese, just so we know. I apologize for the glare, but if I turn this light off, I can't really... yeah, I guess I could try. We have Wicket talking to little Woklings, telling them the story of how he met Princess Leia, how she had to go back to the stars, but she came back for the wedding, and then we have some Ichabawa and Yub Nubs. I can't believe George Lucas took Yub Nub out of the Return of the Jedi, the special edition version. It was just... shouldn't have done that. Now we have Moff Aquahard's fleet, and he's approached by this gentleman, General Katata, and the general basically tells him, I managed to flee Endor, but my ship was damaged with debris from the Death Star, and hold on, let me just see if I can't fix this up a little bit. Hold on. Let me just get stuff in order here. I'm not going to edit any of this out. This is half the fun of recording these videos. Yeah, that'll do. His ship was hit by debris from the Death Star, and so they were kind of just floating around, and then all the soldiers that he was with jettisoned themselves so that he could live. And he tells the Moff that he was basically in charge of a cache of weapons on the forest moon of Endor. Then they're still there, and he knows where they are, and he will be able to get them for the Moff, as kind of his way of making up for the fact that he was a fucking coward. So all the Ewoks have this meeting, and they're discussing whether or not, if more outsiders come, they're going to be friendly to them or not, because there was the rebels and the Imperials, and they befriended the rebels, but not all outsiders are going to be good. Wicket basically says that they should be welcoming. Medro here, he's an Ewok that lives on the outskirts. He's very kind of wary of everything, and then they make fun of Wicket for not being old enough. Here you can see characters from the Ewok cartoon show, which is kind of cool. So at the Solemn Swamp Forest, Katata has crashed. He's got Zuckuss here, a droid, Forlom, I think, and this big guy who actually has a droid head in a cage on his chest that talks to him. And they set out to try and find the weapons cache. This guy, a former stormtrooper, just fucking hates it here. And as they're kind of discussing what to do, they're attacked by these guys that look like the Grinch. Dulocs, I believe they're called. And one of them manages to hit Katata, but they are subsequently killed off. And as they're killed off, these things apparently don't hunt for food, don't hunt for sport, they just hunt to kill. And they're afraid they will hunt anything except the red ghost. And here we see the red ghost, this Ewok called Asha. Wicket and I believe it's Medro. I'm probably pronouncing that one. Yeah, Medro. They're going and checking all the snares around to see if they can get some food. And Wicket actually says, "You killed a Gorax." What is a Gorax, you ask? You'll find out tomorrow. Or, I should say, in our next movie review video. But I thought that was a nice little nod to the movie. And there's something in the snare. Wicket goes up there, but Medro's like, "Don't go near it." He does. And his thing bursts out. And Wicket fights it. But Medro manages to stab it. And its tail comes off just like a skink. And it flees. And as they're kind of heading back, they hear the trumpet call from the Ewok village. So they start running, and they hide because they see the general and the bounty hunters, or scavengers I should say, have come to the Ewok village, and they are looking for shelter. Asha, the red ghost, stays hidden, as do Wicket and Medro. And the droid, basically, he can speak Ewokese, and he pretends that he's some sort of a priest looking for a sacred site, and the others are the entourage. Wicket wants to go in there. Medro tells him, "No, we have the element of surprise." Chief Chirper is negotiating with them. Some Ewoks say they should stay. Some Ewoks say they should go. Kisa here advocates, and we have Logray, and they're all kind of trying to discuss what to do, and the general and the stormtrooper can't believe this is actually working. They think they're just stupid little bears, when suddenly from out of nowhere, the red ghost appears, Asha. We find out that Asha is Chief Chirpa's other daughter, so Kisa's sister. He slams into, she slams into Zuckuss, and that basically starts a giant fight. And the general is telling the scavengers just to wipe them out, but this guy has a bit of honor, and he's like, we didn't sign up for this. And then Wicket and Meadro come flying in on these rope swings, and they all get into this huge fight. Kisa has her slingshot from the cartoon again. And it's just basically a free-for-all. They realize that these people are the bad outsiders. Wicket manages to get the general by the throat with his spear, and the general tells the guy to kill him, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And he basically puts his weapon up. He's like, I'm not here to massacre anyone. We're here to scavenge this weapons cache so I can get paid. The general gets the spear away, and he's about to kill Wicket, but the scavenger, the big guy, stops him, and the general's like, fine, fuck it. But one of them is coming with us as a guide or a hostage, and they don't know who. Meadro volunteers, and then Wicket kind of steps in. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that is fucking stupid, and it's always going to be fucking stupid. But you know what? It's a part of Star Wars, so who cares? Wicket can speak English. He says, enough. Incredible. I never imagined one of you could possibly speak our tongue. No hostage. You leave, you go. You go now. Don't ever come back. So Wicket can speak English. How did Wicket learn to speak English, or common, or whatever you want to call it? We'll find out. He learns his name is Wicket, and he takes Wicket as a hostage. Here is, when they set the blasters to stun to capture Princess Leia. Same thing. It's friggin' awesome. Now we move on to issue 3, Deadly Depths. Wicket wakes up, and he's basically leading them through Endor, and they come to the Endless Lake. And Wicket wants to go back, and the general's having none of it. Back in the village, they've got to work out what to do to free Wicket, and Meadro and Asha the Red Ghost ride off on this bull, donkey, horsey, pony looking fucking awesome thing. I love it. So they get a boat, and they're going across the lake when suddenly the stormtrooper is attacked by something. The general, who we now know is quite literally the biggest fucking coward. I mean, we saw that when he was telling how he escaped Endor and whatnot. But this guy's a pussy. It's hilarious. So they shoot this thing, but they don't recover the stormtrooper. And then we have like Merman from the He-Man franchise for some reason, popping up on the back of a sea serpent, water dragon. They all fall into the water, and they're trying to kill this thing. The big guy is slamming it with his axe, slices him, and he says, this can't be the end, and the stormtrooper gets rescued, and then they get across to the other side, and then we have the Meadro and Asha at the end of the lake, and there's a dragon thing flies down, and then they end up flying this thing over the lake, trying to find Wicket and the bad guys. So they're on the other side. They get across, and Wicket is trying to kind of guide them. They're all arguing about everything. And then they finally get to where the weapons cache is. But it's open. And then the Gorax comes. So they kept the weapons cache here, and the Gorax was using it as its lair. So they're all trying to kind of run away, and the big guy goes to fight the Gorax. Wicket runs into the droid. And then Midro and Asha go down and they start smacking the crap out of the droid. The Gorax grabs the dragon and just slams it down. Or pterodactyl thing, whatever it is. And then an AT-ST and a speeder bike come out. The stormtrooper is on the speeder bike, and they just start hammering the Gorax. Everyone's kind of in the crossfire of this giant fight. Asha hits the stormtrooper, knocks him off the speeder bike. Speeder bike goes flying out of control, but Wicket, manages to get it when it kind of lands, and he goes zooming off. In the AT-ST is the general, and he has a super heavy blaster cannon, and he blasts the Gorax right through the chest, jumps out of the AT-ST and shoots Wicket's speeder bike out of the sky. The others are still fighting Midro and Asha, and the stormtrooper manages to capture Midro and is about to kill him when Wicket brings all of these things. These guys look like that singer in the special edition in Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace. Don't know what they're called. Don't really care. The general is saying that that's all his property, but they're not having any of it. And the stormtrooper is fed up with this. He just wants to kill Ewoks. And they're all kind of after their money. They know that they've failed. And in the ensuing battle, the general kills the stormtrooper. Midro is about to kill the general for being a murderer, and they end up basically letting him live. And the scavengers basically say they're going to leave. And inside the weapons cache, we can see some Imperial shuttles, some TIE fighters, and all that kind of cool stuff. And they just blow it up. The Ewoks make friends with the Yuzmas, I believe they're called now. And the general goes back to the Moth, and he has failed. And the Ewoks have a big party at the end. Then we have some variant covers, which is always cool. And some action figure variant covers, which I thought were fucking awesome. Wicket W. Warwick, that's his actual name. Jesus Christ. Tebow, Logray. And then we have some Asha drawings. Turn Kayota. Kufornot, the Stormtrooper. King Orkon. Cole Orvank. And EX77. And then we have some more Star Wars comics there. That is Ewoks. Now, what did I think overall? Ton of fun. So stupid. So dumb. The Imperial characters were, or the Imperial General was just a whiny little bitch boy. But nonetheless, it was a fun read. I enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to any Star Wars fan out there. And I'm just going to say this to end the video off. If you hate the Ewoks, you're probably the sort of person that hated Crypto the Superdog in the latest Superman film. And in that case, can't help you, buddy. Can't help you. So I'm going to leave it there for today. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that good stuff. It helps the channel. It helps the algorithm. We don't do this for money. We don't do this because we want to be the biggest channel on the internet. We just do this for you little Plague Landians out there. We enjoy this stuff. So with that said, stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day. But most important of all, yub nub.